listening to Sports Talk Weekend. Once again, here's Dave Sheldon.
Welcome back to Sports Talk Weekend. Anyone who listens to this show understands that I'm a diehard golfer. And, I went out today and played the Vancouver Golf Tour event out at Northview at the Canal, and I play all over the place. But my home course is with the West Coast Golf Group and with Hazelmere Golf Course. And a man who can attest that is a guy who sees me at that course more often than not, and that's Mike White, the head golf professional. How you doing tonight, Mike?
Real well, Dave. How's your day today?
Doing well, thanks. You know what? It's never a bad day of golf, even when it's pouring rain out, because you're out doing something you love, right? So can't be a bad thing. Now, the reason why I bring you on tonight, besides talk about one of my favorite golf courses, is the fact that Hazelmere, part of the West Coast Golf Group, turns 50 this year. And there's a lot of courses that are in town now, but not a lot of them have gone to 50 years. So it's a pretty big year for you guys out there.
Really exciting. It's an official date for our celebration coming up Saturday, June 2nd. But we celebrate a little each day, if you will. Yeah, so far, good start to a good year.
Good start to a good year. Well, let's back up the history a little bit, okay, Mike? Hazelmere is 50 years old. Can you give us some of the origins of the piece of land? I mean, for people who don't know where Hazelmere is, everyone thinks that Hazelmere is Peace Portal, or it's around Peace Portal, and it is. Peace Portal is at Highway 99 and 8th Avenue. You guys are at, like, 180th and 8th Avenue, aren't you?
Pretty well, just about there.
Out in South Surrey.
Always say exit 2A, 8th Avenue East, and if you found the Campbell River store, just come a little further.
Come a little further, and how did this piece of land turn into a golf course?
Well, it's funny. We've got little increments of history we've been collecting up to this year. We've got a few members that actually were on the original crew clearing rocks and things in '62 of the Kuhn family that have been involved off and on with the course since its inception, and some of the locals that still have stories that we're collecting and compiling. And, I started playing as a kid there about 10 years after its inception, and it's been fun to watch it develop from, sort of basic course that was sort of put together as best they could to the gym that we have now.
Yeah, you know what? The course is a beautiful course, and the one thing that I like about what you've done now is that the drainage at Hazelmere is as good as many courses in Lower Mainland. And people talk about sanding like it's a dirty word, but if it's done properly, you get a good base of sand in your foundation, you end up having a pretty good golf course, don't you?
Well, truly. I actually, before we spoke, I dug up an article from 2002 from Pacific Golf, and our president of the West Coast Golf Group, Mike Stewart, had been with us. If I'm not mistaken, Mike joined us in 1995, July, and just wasn't satisfied with the conditions of the golf course, and just took it upon himself and the company to go crazy. They started in '98, I think, with the whole overhaul, I should say, shooting for the 2003 opening, and just did it right. Of course, Dave, you're far too young to remember the old number 10 and 11 holes, but what is now our practice facility. But they kept those open while the construction, so they had they could do 2 holes at a time and keep all 18 holes playable during construction. So that was kind of neat.
Mike White is my guest, by the way. He's the head golf professional at Hazelmere Golf Club, part of the West Coast Golf Group. They're celebrating 50 years at Hazelmere, and they're going to have their 50th anniversary party on June 2nd. We'll talk more to Mike about that in a second. Mike, if you had to give me a signature hole at Hazelmere, or your favorite hole, or both, why don't you give me one or two?
I would say probably our 10th hole. Growing up, it was always number 12, part of the All-Man Corner, but number 10 hole when we hosted the Canadian Tour event from, I think, we had the tour there from 05 through 09. We of course, did 2 tee starts for the Canadian Tour when they were in town, and that just seemed to be the tour players' favorite hole. Arguably the most difficult, but very scenic. Plays south, usually into a wind. Tough, well-protected green, undulating green. It's a good 4. You make 4 there, you're ecstatic. You make 3 there, nobody believes you. I would say probably number 10.
No, it's true. I mean, and again, it's funny because I've been talking with Fraser Mulholland a lot during the year from the Vancouver Golf Tour, and he talks about the fact that when you get to the ninth hole, you tend to want to have a hot dog or have a bite to eat or something like that, and you end up getting yourself into a bit of a sugar buzz, and that's the worst hole you could possibly have a sugar buzz on. So I tend to buy something at 9, but then kind of hang on to it till 11, because 11's I'm not saying 11's an easier hole, but it's a lot easier than 10, because 10, not only is the first shot difficult on 10, you have to make sure you don't overhit it, because you can end up being down that hill, because the second shot is water left, trees right, undulated green with a side slope. So you have to really be careful on the second shot in.
Strike 3, yep.
Yeah, exactly. I one of my favorite holes is 16, only because, like you said, normally it plays southwest, so it plays into the wind generally. So it makes it a very difficult hole, and with 17 being a good hole, a little par 3, and then 18 being around the corner, to me it's the last real chance that you have to score before you head to these last 2 holes.
Yeah, it's true. We did, of course, a layout change several years ago. Of course, as you know, what's currently 10, 11 were our finishing holes. So, a bit of a change with the finishing hole, but as you say, 16, especially if the pin's up front. 16 last chance at it. 17 is simply just take your 3 and move on. Number 18 definitely a good 2-shot hole.
Yeah, 18's a definite 2-shot hole. People think it's a short hole. You can go over the corner. That's all OB now. So for those of you who think you can drive over it, you better be sure, because you're loading up 3 again if you don't get there. Hey, before I let you go, Mike, we're almost out of time here. Give us a sense of what's going on June 2nd, what you're planning to do out there.
Well, we've got, in the golf aspect of things, the driving range, we've got a KP Challenge open to all amateurs. We're going to have 4 different target greens. We're going to go from about 1 o'clock till 4 o'clock. Golf Canada's coming to award us a 50th award and a plaque and such, so that'll be quite fun. But the KP Challenge open to all amateurs, 4 target greens, and at 4 o'clock we'll stop the contest. The 4 closest competitors, or finalists, I should say, we'll take them then for a hole-in-one challenge from the middle of our number 9 fairway to the number 9 green for a hole-in-one chance, $50,000. I'm trying to work in an automobile there as well. If it all comes together, we're going to have hot dogs, hot dog barbecue. Phil and Patty Jonas, I call the Golf's Dynamic Duo. Very excellent teachers and renowned instructors, and of course Phil's tour record and Patty's amateur and PGA record. They'll be doing some clinics. We've got live music, and it should be just a real good day. Cleveland Strixon, we've got a great partnership with them. They're coming out for demo day, so you can come and take a look at the latest and greatest. And it should be a fun day.
Mike, if we want to get a hold of you for the 50th anniversary, how do I book, and how do I get a round of golf at Hazelmere?
You can give us a call in the Pro Shop, 604-538-1818, or you can check us out on the website at www.wcgg.ca.
Great, Mike. Great to have you on board. Good luck with the 50th anniversary. You know I'll be in Arizona, so I won't be able to be there for that, but you know I'll be there cheering you guys on when I get back.
Great, Cinemas Dave. Thanks for your time tonight, and have a great holiday weekend.
You bet. Mike White, my guest. This is Sports Talk Weekend on the Chorus Radio Network.